Alright, so it's literally time to dust this project off and see where we're up to. I've pretty much got to the point where I've got all the parts I need to start doing the assembly of it. So I want to talk a little bit about what my plan is for the inside of it. Because apart from all the regular parts that people do as far as sounds and lights are concerned, I want to try and fit most of this stuff into it. My idea is I want to be able to have it open up for display as well, and to sort of reveal the internal components on how it all sort of works and everything else based on the background research that I've been able to find about the inside of the pack. I haven't entirely worked it all out yet, but the idea is to sort of be able to open it up like you're opening up the hood of a car and seeing what the engine looks like underneath. Some of the components would be mounted on the backboard piece of it, and other components would be mounted into the pack itself. And then obviously it would be all tied together with the hoses and cables, sort of tying it together as a complete unit. I've started working out some of the layout of the features that I want to have inside it, and it's just really going to be a matter of what sort of fits where in terms of the lore that I'm trying to follow that tells the story of the sort of internal structure of it. As I said, once I start laying out these bits and pieces, I also need to incorporate the real world elements, or the real working sound and light elements of it as well. And the hope is that I'll be able to tie that all together in such a way that you won't be able to tell what is effectively a real element and what is essentially a prop piece, that are purely to improve the look and style of it. The primary idea for the cyclotron is for it to have a working mechanical light system, so that it both shines the lights through those lenses on the outside of the pack, and then ties into the speeding up of the lights as the pack accelerates. And it might look something like this. So it's time to get the motherboard painted. I'm just basically roughing the painted surface up. That's exposing a little bit of the aluminium there, but I mostly just roughed it so that it takes the black paint better. I'm just using a matte black paint, and I want to leave it a little rough so that it maintains that handmade look to it. And as the little component pieces go on there and start scattering around, it'll fill in that space and it'll hide some of the roughness of it as well, but hopefully tie it together so that it looks like it's got that rough together, you know, sort of makeshift lab sort of look to it. So at the moment I'm going to set that stuff that I want to use for the internal display to one side and get back to sort of the full assembly of it. For anybody who's been following this series, you know in the last video I started working on the neutrona wand, and once again I've pretty much got all the parts I need for that now as well. The 3D printed parts that I've made for it came out quite well. The only thing I'm really missing now is some of the sort of control knobs and switches and things like that as well. The plans that I've been able to find for the neutrona wand aren't nearly as detailed for the pack itself, so there's a little bit of working out in terms of bits and pieces that I still need to get for it, and I've sort of been going over the forums and looking through reference pictures to work out the best parts I need to track down for those as well. But I'd like to think that once I get that assembled, it's really just going to be a matter of working out what I need to do for the connecting hoses between the pack and the wand, and then I can start seriously thinking about the internal components and the lighting and sound system that I want to do. I know this particular build's been a bit fragmented given the workload that I've got at the moment, but I did want to let you all know that it is still going in the background, just a little bit more slowly than I'd first anticipated. So anyway guys, that'll be the update for this time. Thanks for watching, talk to you next time.